the song now. People get ready, right? So we'll go into all the key modulation, everything at the end. It's a really fun song. So we're just going to be in C sharp major, right? So I think he actually plays this in an open F sharp tuning because when I watched him play it live, and he's doing like these bar chords like this with one finger, right? So I'm not trying to play it like the song. I'm just trying to do some of the vocal melody and add some kind of Hendrix kind of flavor into it. So we start out C sharp major. Your thumb on 9 on low E, 10 on D, or 11 on D, 10 on G, 9 on B and E. Mute out the A string. We're just going to strum down from E to B. And then we're going to hammer on, hit G and B together on 9 and 10, and hammer on to 11 on G. And then hit 10 and 9, G and B, one more time. Then we're going to go down to B flat minor. Okay, have your thumb on 6, mute out the A string. Then you're going to have D on 8, bar G and B, and E on 6th fret. We're really just hitting down to the B string though. Alright, so you have, and then we're going to hammer on bar D and G on 6, hammer on to 8 on D. And then we're going to do that same thing again, but we're going to hammer on and pull off, and then go to F sharp major right away. So then F sharp will be thumb on 2, mute out the A string, then have 4, 3, 2, 2. And then we're going to do this major lick that gets us into E flat minor. So just hit F sharp once, then slide in 4 to 6 on the low E, and then bar A and D on 4, and hit those together. And then we're going to go to E flat minor to a first inversion of C sharp major. So your E flat minor, bar all a 6 from A down, and then you'll have D and G on 8, B on 7. And your C sharp will be 8 on the A string, and bar D, G, and B on 6. Alright, so you'll have. Second time around, we're going to change that intro a little bit. After you hammer on 10 to 11 on G, instead of hitting 10 and 9 G and B like we did the first time, we're going to go back. After you hammer on, we're going to have 8 and 9 on G and B, and we're going to hammer on to 10 on the G string. Then we'll go to B flat minor. Okay, and after, once we're here, we're going to do this little lick. Hammer on, bar GB6, hammer on to 8 on G, and then hammer on, pull off, and then pick and pull off 8 to 6 on the D string. Off 8 to 6 on the A string, but don't pick that one. And then we're going to land on a F sharp major chord, the C shape of it. Just bar all a 6 from A down, have 9 on A, 8 on D, 7 on B, hit it twice. And then we'll land on the first inversion of C sharp major. You have 8 on A, bar D, G, B on 6, right? So that whole part you have. Alright, and then we're going to walk up this little vocal part out of the C sharp major pentatonic. Just bar G and B on 6. Then we're going to hit, these are thirds we're walking up. Then we're going to have 8 and 7 G and B. Slide into 10, 9 G and B. And once you get there, bar B and E on 9. Hit it once. Then hammer onto B on 11 and have the 9 on E with it. Okay, then we're going back to B flat minor. So you have we're gonna do this lick bar GB6, hammer on to 8 on G, and then slide into 9, slide back to 8, and then pull off to 6 on the G. And then we're gonna pull off 8 to 6 on the D string. And this will lead us back to F sharp. Okay, and we're gonna do that same walk up. Okay, same thing we already did before. And then we're gonna end it by playing an F minor 7, bar from A down on the 8th fret, and then have 10 on D, 9 on the B string, and then we're going to hammer on with our pinky to 11 on B first. And then give it an upstroke and take your pinky off and hit just the chord. And then the third time, you're going to put your pinky down on G on 10. And then we're going to go back to B flat minor. Okay. And then we're going to do that lick again. And this will lead us to E flat minor 7. Just bar 6 from A down, D on 8, B on 7, and then land on C sharp major where we started on 9 and 11. Okay, so real slow all together, the whole thing. You're gonna have repeats that kind of thing over and over, and then it kind of drops out in the middle, and he'll play the intro part, and then I can't remember what I did. I was just improvising something, but he kind of noodles some kind of major pentatonic lick. I know I hit that F sharp because you can just noodle anything. You can even go like a not the most important thing, just anything will work. And then he goes and shifts up to D major. So he's going to modulate up a half step, right? So rather than just leave you hanging with it, I'll show you what's going on. I used to hate when songs did this, right? Because I was like, it's hard enough to learn one thing, and then you have to learn it in a whole nother key and play the same thing. But once you see what's going on, it's not that difficult, right? So we're just going to have our thumb on 10, mute out the A string, then have 12, 11, 10, 10. And then we're going to hammer on 11 to 12 on G. And then have 10, 11 on G and B. Now we're going to go to B minor instead of B flat. Thumb on 7, mute out the A, and you have 9, 7, 7. Then bar D, G on 7, hammer on to 9 on D. Now we're going to go to G major instead of F sharp. Okay, so you have 3, mute out the A, 5, 4, 3, 3. And that lick will now be 5 to 7 on the low E, slide up, then get A and D on 5. Now we're going to go to E minor to D major, bar all of 7 from A down, 9 on D and G, 8 on B. Then play your first inversion of D major, have 9 on the A string, D, G, and B on 7. Alright, so you have second time, you're going to hammer on that part 9 and 10 GB to 11 on G. And back to your B minor. We're going to do that little hammer lick again. pull off 9 to 7 on D and A, and then we're going to get that G major chord. Bar all the 7 from A down, then that 10, 9, 8 on the B string. Just hit it twice, and then hit your D major inversion. 9, 7, 7, 7. Okay, so you'll have. Walk-up thing. You bar GB on 7, go 9, 8 GB, slide into 11, 10 GB, and you get B and E on 10, and hammer on to 12 on B with 10 and E in it, right? Back to B minor, a little slidey lick. 9 to 7 on D, go back to G major, walk up to E minor. Okay, same thing we did before, and then you're going to end it on F sharp minor 7. Okay, so you bar all a 9 from A down, then have 11 on D, 10 on B, hammer on to 12 on B, and then get 11 on G. Back to your B minor, do the lick, and then E minor 7 to your D major, right? So that's everything. You just got to practice it real slow and just kind of visualize everything. So real slow, the whole part, you have. So that's your second part when they change keys. So it's around like 71 beats a minute or so. Just practice slow and have fun.